Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, Principal Cusimano, the wonderful staff of St. Edmund Campion, loving family members of the graduates, and last but not least, the most important guests of honor, the St. Edmund Campion 2015 graduates. My fellow grade 12s, I am so delighted to represent you and deliver our graduating valediction speech. My fellow peers, we have finally made it. I would like to congratulate us on our accomplishments and hard work. It has been a long 4 years filled with many trials and tribulations. We have finished an extremely important milestone and have ultimately opened the next door in our lives. Although we are a bit anxious, I know we are ready to take on whatever comes our way in the next few years to come. I believe that what has made us the person we are today has truly been the memorable experiences that we have experienced throughout this high school journey. Our personal identity has definitely endured over time. Over the past 4 years, one thing that I have noticed about our graduating class is that we are a very determined, overachieving group of individuals. Anything that has come our way, we have found a way to beat those obstacles. As well, we have been able to set our minds on objectives and essentially not only reach them, but far surpass them. Some of the brightest and most innovative individuals I have ever met are standing with me in this room today, and I am overjoyed to say that I have had the pleasure to spend these last 4 years with each of you. From athletics to academics, this graduating class has it all, and I cannot wait to see the many things I know you will accomplish in the future. Essentially, our high school experiences could be closely tied with the infamous allegory, The Myth of the Cave, written by Greek philosopher Plato. Just like the prisoners in the cave, this life is all we have known for the majority of our lives. Now, I'm not saying that school is like a prison, although I know some of you may beg to differ. However, this life is essentially all we have known, and over the 4 years, we have become accustomed to the security and familiarity of the school system. However, now is our chance to be released out into the real world and explore other things the world has to offer. True, majority of us are going back to school. However, after finishing high school, we can now enjoy this new chapter in our lives with a fresh and mature outlook on life. Hopefully, we can refer back to our old self in a few years and reflect on how much we have learned and have become enlightened. With this in mind, we should take this newfound enlightenment and begin to question the nature of the society that we live in. I give most of you credit, as you already have begun to do so. You truly demonstrate a love for wisdom, and even if you are not yet aware that you may possess these qualities. You have begun to question the norms of the society in which we live, and have attempted to decipher what is essentially right and wrong based on your own knowledge and rationality. That, my friends, is the beauty of autonomy, and it is essentially what I believe will continue to aid you throughout society and steer you away from the ignorance of the world. This being said, ignorance does not have to be a bad thing initially. In fact, ignorance, according to the philosophical views of Socrates, is in fact the best way to learn. It allows one to fully absorb and accept new knowledge without the fear of being biased. During my last semester of high school, I was granted the opportunity to take a grade 12 philosophy class. I honestly did not know what to expect, and thus embarked upon an unknown obstacle. One of the first things that I remember learning not only shaped my newfound admiration for the course, but also a newfound philosophy for life. This was the absurdity of life theory proposed by Albert Camus. Principally, futility is observing the uselessness or pointlessness of one's everyday tasks. The argument at hand is that we as humans let futility overtake our daily lives as we fill ourselves in repetitive tasks, unnecessary tasks. Albert Camus proposes that we accept the absurdity of life as most of us, our sum totals of our life are deemed pointless. Now, at first listen, this might sound discouraging. Still, initially, I thought that Camus' proposal was one I was willing to accept. After all, we continue to go through the same constant motions as a society and pretend we are content. School, work, paying taxes. Initially, I thought, many other individuals have done it before me and have seemed content with their life, so why can I not do the same? However, after time, I realized the flaws in not only Albert Camus' proposal, but also my ways of thinking, in which I was slightly disappointed to even know that I was possible of thinking this way. I do not know when the sudden epiphany happened. However, I do know that I now refuse to accept Camus' proposal. Every so often, we find individuals who are in such miserable situations, but they try to convince themselves that they are happy. Why does this have to be the case? Why do we have to accept the boundaries placed on us? Why do we not seek our own happiness? That is why I take this opportunity to tell you to defy the norms and the conventional and seek happiness outside of what is placed upon you. The limits placed upon us are only ideally invented to keep us from venturing out and drastically changing our world. Today, I am telling you to not be afraid to venture out and not let society tell you how to truly be happy, as if this is the case, you will never truly find your individualistic happiness, but a mere illusion of what society deems as happiness. Essentially, we have the freedom to choose our own path. In the view of libertarianism, we have the capability to choose our future and have the utmost control over our actions. However, we as humans have bad faith and try to trick ourselves into thinking that we do not have a choice. I am here to tell you that we as graduates have a choice. We attempt to try to avoid responsibility, so we are not to blame when the results are not as planned. Instead, we should take control of our own actions and be the determining factor in our fate, as I believe that we are all in control of our destiny and can build a brighter future. Live by the wise words of philosopher John Paul Sartre, in which he states, "Man is nothing else but what he makes himself." Although you may not think so, I believe that spending my last 4 years in a Catholic high school has truly helped me become a better citizen of society. As a community, we have constantly practiced morality while walking through these halls. Honestly, this school has helped shape our thoughts and perceptions and has encouraged us to follow our moral principles. Campion has made a tremendous effort to constantly reinforce good, moral values that we often overlook. Over the past 4 years, we have annually reflected on good Christian values and as a result have developed these mannerisms in our daily lives. Truthfully, all of the graduates in this room today are guilty of one thing. We could not wait for this moment. Graduation. Every single day of our grade 12 year was dedicated to this one objective. Every late night studying, every assignment or essay we've completed, the underlying goal in mind was graduating high school. Evidently, standing here today, we have reached our goal. Thus, I propose to you one more challenge before we depart ways. I propose that we ultimately try to change our society for the better. I believe that although education is extremely important, how we also interact within our society is crucial. We often tend to focus on the negative perspective of humanity. However, we do not like to focus on the positives. I believe that we should try and change our society until there are barely any negative things to say in pertaining to our community. In this way, we will not have to worry about human suffering or the inevitable doom of society. We could rather focus on the prosperous growth of society and its future as opposed to its demise. By doing so, we are able to eliminate the futility in our daily tasks and ultimately achieve true individualistic happiness. We won't have to worry about competing with others, but rather helping one another accomplish goals. In this manner, we could all aid to promote the common good of society. Gandhi says for us to be the change we want to see in the world. So why don't we? Why don't we start today and try to make a difference in our society that we live in and will one day hopefully bring our future kids into? We are at an age/millennium where we can do whatever we want if we put our minds to it. Whatever we set our minds to, we can achieve. We have so much accessible to us at our fingertips. So why not?